How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel, Tech with KG. Today we're going to be checking out the Sony A80J on the Halo Infinite campaign. The campaign just came out tonight, and I really just wanted to play through it on the new Sony A80J 77-inch that I got, and I'm very excited about this TV. It's a little overkill. We could barely get it up the stairs, but it was we got it up there, and so I couldn't go any bigger than 77-inch, so don't expect that anytime soon in the near future. That is going to be the maximum size. Another shout out to Sony for having a really good unboxing experience. If you look on their YouTube channel, they actually show you how to unbox the 65-inch and 77-inch A80J like a really smooth way, where you just unclick the tabs, slide off the cardboard, and you don't even have to lay the TV flat. You just snap on the stand, and there's no screws necessary. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But this video isn't really about focusing on the A80J. It's about playing games on a Sony TV on a A80J OLED, and specifically how you would go about setting it up for something like Halo Infinite. So what I did was, first of all, you need to make sure that you go into your HDMI settings and switch it to enhanced through the settings menu, or you're not going to get HDR. And they don't tell you this when you turn on the TV. You just kind of have to figure that out yourself. So if you're ever wondering why you can't get HDR, you have to go into the settings menu and switch your HDMI output to enhanced, and that'll give you HDR. Now, if you're wondering why you don't have Dolby Vision all of a sudden, that's because you can't have both HDR 120 and Dolby Vision on the same port. You have to switch it through the settings menu to get your Dolby Vision back. And that is why there is not Dolby Vision 120Hz gaming on this TV, which is, maybe a downside if Dolby Vision gaming was actually worth doing, which as of right now it is not. And I am here to tell you that the Halo campaign is not much different than the multiplayer, with the disappointment in Dolby Vision in general not great. I think that the best way to play it on a Sony OLED is going to be using gradation preferred, which is going to be the tone mapping through the TV itself. Now, to set this up, the best way to do this is to turn the tone mapping off, go to the HDR calibration setup in the Xbox menu, and run everything with your tone mapping turned off. After that is set and you follow the directions, I had about 12 clicks on the white screens, and on the black screen was the minimum amount, so you get absolute blacks. After that, you want to make sure you turn tone mapping back on to gradation preferred, and you will get a really great looking picture. Really quickly, if you guys like this channel and you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It's really going to help grow the channel and get this video and other videos like this out to more people that are going to appreciate these types of videos. Thank you guys so much for doing that. While this TV does not support HGIG, it's not labeled as HGIG, and there is no HGIG mode, there is going to be a similar process to doing your HGIG by setting it up while it is off and then turning it on. That'll be the best way to do it, since there is no HGIG on this TV. So there is actually a little bit of a weird advantage to that, because games that are HGIG look really great on the TVs that have HGIG support. For example, the C1 looks really great with HGIG supported games. When they're not HGIG supported, you'll notice that HGIG absolutely looks like tone mapping off, and it will look kind of dull to a lot of people. To me personally, I think it does look dull, and then you have to use dynamic tone mapping on, which will brighten the whole entire picture in places where you might not want it brightened. So there's a trade-off there, and I want to say that for the most part, even in non-HGIG games, gradation preferred looks really good. So this is a real advantage to Sony for the tone mapping, in my opinion, and I think I would love to see LG go this route in the future as maybe like a third option for their tone mapping. Because while HGIG is great, if the game isn't HGIG compliant, then it's not going to do anything. So that is why I really do wish that this tone mapping method is something that they would add to other TVs. I'll have more about HDR and HGIG and everything in a future video, because I think there's a lot of confusion around this. Now, as far as Halo Infinite and how it looks on this TV, looks absolutely incredible. I would say that Between the Sony A80J, the LG C1, and the Q90T, those are the TVs that I've tried Halo Infinite out on. I have to say that the Q90T by far has looked the best, and it's not really even close. The game is very bright and vibrant and beautiful, and the pulse rifle effects and everything just sticks out so much on the Samsung TVs. And in second place, we will have the Sony A80J. This TV is incredible. The highlight detail is pretty good when you do have it set to gradation preferred. I really do like the way it looks. And while it is dimmer than the Samsung TV, no doubt about it, it is going to be brighter than the C1 by far, unless you have dynamic tone mapping on. Now, if you have dynamic tone mapping on, LG can look a little bit brighter, and it will hold the brightness a little bit more because over time, the TV will dim on the A80J. Not really that noticeable, but it does happen, and you'll have to just switch the input to see that take place. You really won't notice it if you're not paying attention though, so it's not a huge deal to me. So that's the elephant in the room. With the Sony A80J, when in gaming, everybody wants to know, is dimming the big issue here? And for a lot of people, it's not going to be an issue, and I don't think most people will notice it. Now, you're going to have people that are sensitive to it. I am personally not too sensitive to it, but I do notice it if I look for it. So it is there. It's not something that people are making up. It's not something that Classy is making up. It's definitely there, and he's going to have a video demonstrating that on his channel, so make sure you check that out when it does come out. But I really do think that most people probably won't feel like this is a big deal. The other elephant in the room with the A80J on the gaming side of things is going to be the image retention. Now, to me, this isn't a big deal unless you're constantly going to be switching in the menu screen and just hanging in there for a while. Then you really won't notice it. But for movies, I haven't really seen it be an issue at all. In gaming, I haven't really seen it be an issue at all either. The reason why I called it out in the 55-inch review is because I gotta let you guys know it's there. But I have to say it's not a huge deal, and it's not a deal breaker for me at all. So for me personally, I like to set my settings a little bit differently than a lot of other people do with their Sony A80J. I like a little bit more of a pop from my picture. I really like to have my live color set to medium. I think otherwise it does look a little bit too dull for my taste, but this is going to definitely like take away from the accuracy. If you're okay with that, it does give you a little bit more pop. Now, one other thing that I do is I use reality creation on about 30 or 40, and sometimes I use it on auto as well, just on 20. It really does depend on the game. I thought for Halo I had it at auto for 20. It looked good. It didn't really need any extra love because the game looks really great on the Series X. So this is just mainly for games like the Nintendo Switch games where you could just add a little bit more reality creation to that and get it looking really good. You really don't need anything extra for this game, so just leave it on auto and it'll take care of pretty much everything for you. Another thing I like to do that other people won't like to do is probably use the advanced contrast enhancer on medium. I think this works a lot better than Samsung's advanced contrast enhancer. It doesn't really destroy the picture in my opinion. It just adds a little bit of pop to it, which I appreciate, and I think this is a great feature to use when you are playing a game like Halo. The highlights do stick out a little bit more to me when you have advanced contrast enhancer set to medium. Now, I did a whole breakdown on the A80J and A90J settings for kind of my picture settings that pop, and go ahead and copy those if you want to try them out. I do have a full video breakdown on that, and that'll be available at the end of this video, so just click that video that pops up at the very end. If you guys are buying on Amazon this holiday season and you want to support the channel, please use my affiliate links in the description below. It doesn't matter what you buy, it all goes to contributing to the channel, and I thank you guys so much for doing that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next one.